What careers are best for the INFJ personality type? In this video, we are going to take a look at what types of careers are best for the INFJ personality types. It was Oscar Wilde, the great writer of epigrams, who once said, "There is something tragic about the enormous number of young men there are in England at the present moment who start life with perfect profiles and end by adopting some useful profession." With a larger and larger number of jobs that don't serve the best values for the community and the workers in general, people are bound to wonder which job is the best for them. And if you are an INFJ type, this rare personality group, which has a natural predisposition to do jobs that add meaning to life, enrich it in some ways, and not be stuck in the bubble of mere materialism, you must be wondering which job you should make your own. INFJs are perfectionists by nature. It makes them easier to achieve this goal of perfectionism if they do their jobs where they can pour their heart and soul out. But what exactly are these jobs that they should be choosing? We'll find out soon, but before we do, we'd like to tell you that we bring these videos to you for free. You can show support to our endeavor by choosing to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so that you don't miss out on new videos. Sending us a thumbs up for the video is another way to encourage us. Okay, now that we are done with that, let's take a look at what careers are best for the INFJ personality type. Creative writer. If you are an INFJ, you already know that you feel at ease pouring your emotions in a sheet of paper. You're not as spontaneous as some wonderful conversationalists are, nor are you at your eloquent best during social gatherings. You like to ruminate over the events of the day, try to make some sense of the things that occurred, find the motives of others, and then let the words bleed into paper. And since you can see the perspectives of others and be empathic to them, you're naturally inclined towards becoming a creative writer. But here's what you need to know. Good things take time. While you are pursuing a career in the literary field, you might not be paid as well as you would like at the start of your career. So you might have to do odd jobs or work in the lower echelons in this field itself to have some semblance of financial stability. But doing these will add depth to your writing as they will enrich you with the practicalities of life. Perhaps you will meet characters that will be a part of your novel or essays. Who knows? Psychologists. One of the first real-life characters that comes to mind when we think about INFJs is Carl Gustav Jung, the man who revolutionized the field of psychology through his penetrating insights into the psyche of the human mind, a disciple of Sigmund Freud, with whom he later had intellectual differences. It was Jung who collectivized the phrases we all use, such as the tree of life, or the wise old man, or the tyrannical father, into a broad brush term known as archetypes. Given that INFJs tend to be much more empathic and thoughtful than your typical John Doe, an INFJ can have a resplendent career as a psychologist a la Carl Jung. After all, people are looking for creative insights into their own behaviors and thought patterns and how to channel them into something productive. As an INFJ, you know that you can do that. It's something that you've always been doing. Graphic designer. Here's another work that INFJs in the previous generations might not have been able to pursue: graphic designing. You can pour out your great artistic skills and help brands which are looking to add meaning to lives of others grow bigger. You can play with colors and look how they melt into one another, or you can play with words and text to produce staggering effects in addition to adding an aesthetic value where it is missing. And there's a lot of flexibility that comes about in the field of graphic designing. You can schedule your work knowing the time of the day where you are the most productive. You can also work from home or other places which help your creative juices to flow. Scientists. There was a beautiful word that preceded the use of the word scientists before the 1850s. The term was natural philosophers, and every INFJ knows in their heart of hearts that philosophizing about the natural world is something that they have been endowed with. Working in the laboratory, trying to get a good gaze at a secret that Mother Nature has nearly tucked away from our sights is not what every other person likes to do. But the solitude of working on your own, collaborating with others, and not cutting off socializing completely, and the chance to travel the world presenting your research to others who share the same joy about the philosophy of nature is a great career path for an INFJ. Librarian. Becoming a librarian might not be a job that has glamour written all over it. It is something that has a touch of the quiet about it, a sense of solitude. But this is something that can be meaningful to an INFJ. After all, you will have access to a lot of books, be lost in the world of ideas, and be constantly in touch with people like Socrates and Shakespeare and Roger Penrose, and who might have lived in a different time, different places, but are still able to shape the world in a better way. It was working in the library that Philip Larkin, perhaps the greatest post-World War poet of England, that achieved staggering heights with his imperishable words such as, "Our almost instinct almost true. What will survive of us is love." Maybe you'll be able to carve out imperishable poetry like that too, or perhaps you'll love the ease of working in the theater of library, helping new readers discover books that change our lives forever. It is for you to discover. Professor. If you as an INFJ are pursuing a career in the field of scientific work, then you are more or less likely to become a professor. After all, you need to hand down the vast reserves of knowledge that you have gained throughout your working career to people who want to fill in the shoes that your absence is going to create sooner or later. Many writers also hold positions as professors of writing in various universities, as discussing about a piece of writing or a book with others opens up the vast expanses of interpretation that you have not tapped into. If you are well established in another field that we discussed previously, psychology, you could end up as a professor too. And when you reach the apex in the work you are doing, you might as well have the power to influence the world around you with some administrative policies. Social workers. There are a lot of wonderful works that you can do for many nonprofit organizations that fight against domestic abuse or work to establish laws that secure animal rights or provide education to underprivileged children in some of the remotest corners of the world. With the most developed countries reaching far ahead of the least developed ones in terms of education and equality, we be stupefied to know that wife-beating is taken to be the norm in some areas of the world, and women are still abused for the fatuous practice of witchery or for the hideous practice of dowry. In some corners of the world, animals are still tortured to produce a certain scientific research, while in others, little children are so struck by the curse of poverty that the privileges we enjoy in the comfort of our houses seem rather undeserved. You can help change a society by working for organizations that advocate against malpractices in a society and help the world become a better place. Counselor. Don't you, as an INFJ, sometimes feel that your intuition has a penetrating insight into a situation which the rest of the people are missing? Or that your deep empathy helps you put a light into the shade of someone's darkest emotions? If that is the case, working as a counselor is something you can consider. There are many people who lose their loved ones after they've battled with an illness, or people who have a lot of trouble coming out of addiction, or people who are seeking normality after they have joined a family violence center or women's shelter. You can help these people get out of trouble by collaborating or working in various community-based institutions, or run your own institution that helps people get out of aforementioned troubles. What job you want to do depends upon what suits you best as well as what values you are seeking while doing the work. If you are an INFJ, the creative field is the best option for you as you can shine and glitter amongst the rest. But it is also worth noting that you have to create the room for a creative job because, as we all know, jobs where you can express your heart and soul takes some time to materialize, and you have to stay calm and ride through the storm where you can't do what you were truly hoping to. Remember, every journey starts with the smallest of steps. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give us thumbs up apart from subscribing to us. We will see you soon, but in the meanwhile, you can enjoy the video on the screen.